2.
The mother of all short squeezes, Bitcoin is absolutely ripping right now as we see billions of dollars in inflows and retail is getting absolutely plummeted from these shorts. It's time to discover crypto.
Capital flight is coming to the United States. The dollar is going to zero.
And that's what makes Bitcoin so special.
You have to have gone through a couple cycles to understand.
Once the price is able to clear this level, the breakout is on its way.
This is your indication to jump in now.
Is this your indication to jump in right now, guys? $45,000 Bitcoin. We are seeing it for the first time in what feels like forever. DZ, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. My Cardano bags are pumping, but not only that, it's one thing to have an ecosystem pump. It's another thing where the native assets within that ecosystem are out pumping the native asset, meaning Cardano alts that we've been picking are out pumping Cardano. Cardano is up over 10%, and some of these alts are up 12, 15%. And so that's always a good news because when you have an ETH alt and ETH pumps 10%, but your alt only pumps 7%, you lost Ethereum. And folks, we're gaining Cardanos. I feel like I'm gaining Satoshis. I'm gaining some ADAs there.
Getting some ADAs here. Yeah, chat noticed that I said my shorts. Yes, they are my shorts, guys. I gave them up. I'm only wearing pants now. Smearing my glasses here, so you're gonna be seeing me mess with them because I'm sweating. I'm sweating. These markets
a little
feel
smear,
good.
a little blur,
It's a little blur,
a smur, if you will.
And the charts are just greener than ever, guys. Good morning to everybody from Discover Crypto in the chat. It's good to see you all here today. Bitcoin at $45,350. Ethereum at $2,456. Man, that is just beautiful. Look, no red on the 1 hour, 24 hour, or 7 day. It is just green volume, green market caps, and green dailies here, guys. XRP actually getting some movement here, up 2.9% in the last 24 hours.
Hey, if you refresh, it's 3.0.
Oh, no.
I'm serious.
Wow, it's just ripping. So 5.3% now here on Bitcoin here, but 3.0 for XRP. Solana, 9%. And obviously, a project that I hear about almost too much. Cardano leading the top 10 here with 10%.
Hey, you got to look up Caspa.
What's that, Caspa?
Yeah, keep going. Caspa, I believe, is now
there.
top 20. Oh,
you guys got to let me get down there. You know, Caspa is lower on the totem pole. So we kind of got to start at the top, and then we'll get to those miners here because they're deep underground. Chainlink at 1.3%. Dogecoin at 2.4%. Guys, green. And of course, I heard if you smash that like button and are subscribed to this channel with those notifications, your projects are going to be pumping the best on the last 24 hours. Let's see what we got here today. We got BitTorrent. 28.8%. Wow. Stacks. Hey, we got my portfolio in here today, guys. Stacks here up 17.6%. Smart contract protocol building on top of Bitcoin. Their Satoshi launch is the same exact time as the Bitcoin halving. So super bullish on them. The mention here, 16.8%, still out only for 3 days. There is Nick's good old Caspa. 0% in the last hour, though. What is that, Nick? What is that 0% I see on the screen? The only red.
It's all healthy consolidation after a 16% pump in 23 hours.
It's accumulation, not consolidation, right?
Yeah,
you know, 16.1%. Celestia broke $20 here today. Shout out to all the TIA holders.
I see a lot of TIA holders in the chat. You know, we appreciate it. You know, I wasn't the first one to put on your radar. It is Nick Diamandi. So Nick Diamandi deserves all the flowers here.
Yeah, we got some soul in the markets today, if you want to say. Already up 1.7% last 13%. This is huge, guys. I want to move into the articles today because we got a lot to break down, but this is the MOAS. If you haven't heard that term, it is MOASS, mother of all short squeezes.
MOAS.
Wall Street Bets is back. So MOAS is pumping all. No, we're gonna
keep it PG.
Reference? Keep it PG. You know. I think it's ghetto is what I would say.
Well, you said Mo Sass. We were talking about sass.
Yeah, we got the Mo
Sass. Sass in the markets right now.
You said MOAS.
How sassy are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling super sassy with my Cardano bags. I'm feeling so bullish. I'm damn near gassy. I'm so sassy.
Well, let's pull back that sassy because this room is very tight. But the 2021 GameStop saga, guys, recently featured in a Netflix movie, which we've all been talking about. It's called Dumb Money. Dumb Money. Potato. But ultimately, guys, great movie. I recommend you check it out because it gives you a really good background of how someone in their basement, straight up, completely took down a few different hedge funds. And that may have unexpected parallels with Bitcoin, particularly in the context of a potential supply crunch. For those unfamiliar, GameStop shares were heavily shorted by several hedge funds who saw easy prey in a retail store today, guys, headed for bankruptcy with the added pain of the pandemic. Seemingly, the goal was to short the stock to zero. I'm going to need a sip of water here. I don't know what's going on to me. I'm breaking right now.
Well, it's the movie about Roaring Kitty, and we actually have some photos of the real Roaring Kitty next to the fake Roaring Kitty, and I would say they did a pretty good job in this movie. Honestly, you could barely tell the differences here. And then Vlad, also Vlad also being thrown into this mix of images here.
That's Vlad?
There's Vlad over here.
No, that's not
Do
Vlad.
not pan
That's
the
him.
camera
That's-
to me. I'm
that's
cleaning
Kitty.
my glasses, okay?
Isn't that Vlad right there? That looks like
that
Vlad.
was him at the deposition.
Oh, that was him after he grew his hair out and wore a
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, or correct. I recognize the mic right there. You know what? He cleans up so nicely.
He
I
does.
scarcely recognized him there.
All right, we got clean glasses. I'm good now.
Okay,
Got the
you can
water.
see.
We
got
feel
your-
good. Long story short, guys, if you don't remember Vlad, the Chad, long story short, guys, retail investors, mainly through Robinhood, but also through around the world, actively piled in buying GameStop shares. Yes, the once foreseen dead company came back to life, and aggressively in the hope that it would force the hedge funds to close their shorts at higher prices and trigger a short squeeze. So unfortunately, we're not necessarily seeing the hedge funds losing their money right now. It's primarily retailers that are shorting Bitcoin's price. They're shorting it to 35 or 30K, while all these hedge funds are doing the complete opposite, which we'll get to in just a moment. This tactic, though, guys, did inflict significant losses on some hedge funds, although many had their financial buffer to absorb these losses. So GameStop, the hedge funds were just bailed out by their financial rich friends. And unfortunately, us retailer don't have the same option. So if you guys,
I pulled up the stock real quick. It is up over the past 5 years, but
For
it is
GameStop?
down from its all-time high.
Yeah.
Wow. This is the mania of the movie right here. Then this part was very captivating, where it has the dip and then it starts to come back, shaking out all the Wall Street investors.
yeah, I'm curious, how many people hold GameStop in the chat here? Because a lot of you came from obviously multiple cycles ago. Were you a part of that Robinhood fiasco?
I was.
You were? I
Yeah.
definitely was. I never got into
I
Bed
bought
Bath Beyond.
AMC.
You did?
Yeah.
Or did you buy BlackBerry?
I didn't buy BlackBerry.
I got GameStop and BlackBerry, but GameStop I sold for like a 2x.
Wasn't
wasn't
Bed
crazy.
Bath and Body Works, because the ticker is BBW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BBY.
Big- oh, no, it was it BBY?
There is a ticker BBW.
I don't even remember. No, I did BlackBerry though.
Oh.
So I don't remember what chat might know. It was like BBY or BBW.
Build-A-Bear Workshop.
Build a
is
Bear.
BBW. Build-A-Bear Work. That's a real thing. Yeah,
I'm going
that's
all
the
in
real
on
stock
BBWs.
right here.
Man,
Hang on,
stuff your bags with them
Are they
teddy
up
bears.
for the year? What's
For the year. We have year to date, so beginning of January here.
What's the
They are
5
down
year?
year to date, but over the past 12 months, they're also down. They're also down. But
I would say
maybe on the
BBWs are up for the year.
I love that Bob from accounting said his mom's going to bail him out just in case he loses his money. Thank goodness you're in accounting. You know exactly how to manage those funds, guys. Well, moving on to here, we have a short squeeze taking place with Bitcoin topping at $44,000 with whale accumulation suggesting conviction and more price gains. So obviously, since this article was released, guys, we've already grown over $1,000 on Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin broke above 44K for the first time since January 12th, the day after the spot ETF debuted. The Bitcoin surged Wednesday over that price action to fresh 4-week highs amid the Bitcoin accumulation by specifically large holders and new all-time highs in U.S. equity indices. So we have crypto analyst Ali Martinez noted in the X post today, I want to say Twitter, that Bitcoin whales, large investors, increased their asset accumulation and the number of Bitcoin wallets holding, get this, wow, over 1,000 tokens, roughly $44 million, rose to a multi-month high of 73. So chat, let me know. I'm very curious because I know you guys are obviously the smartest and the biggest whales in the industry. How much Bitcoin do you hold? Are you guys in that 1,000 Bitcoin whale category? Are we more in that 0.005 category? Because no judgment here. We have the Bitcoin whales accumulating again, 73 whales. This is the chart. It is skyrocketing, DZ.
Wow.
I know you've been purchasing Bitcoin. I did not know you were going that hard.
Yeah, and not only that, I actually got a little Bitcoin from my Celsius claim there. And I was talking with the coworker, should I just leave it in Bitcoin? I left it in Bitcoin. Maybe some of these alts could have popped harder, but I also just got my Ether today as well. So I might just ride those two. They're safer bets. But yeah, there's some very, very, very volatile action right now.
Yeah.
But I was not the Bitcoin whale with my very small Celsius
Dang.
claim. It wasn't me.
Well,
it wasn't me.
I think some advice I can give is just don't leave it in Celsius. right? That's a takeaway.
Where's the yield come from? That's always a
Exactly.
question you should ask yourself.
We have the yield. Where does it come from? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was on the day before they invited me onto their show, and he told me that directly to my face. He's like, if they can't tell you where the yield comes from, there's no yield at all. And then of course that happened to them. But continuing advances for U.S. stock markets, guys, also likely supported the risk assets like crypto. So stock markets, guys, hitting all-time highs, even with the fears of the New York Bancorp Community Bank that went down, which took up and absorbed Signature and banks that were collapsing last year in March, almost a year ago today. Despite all of that FUD, guys, that fear, that uncertainty, and that doubt is going to lead us to something very interesting that I believe Gary wanted to pull up. Yeah, Gary Cardone tweeted this out today.
Shout out to Gary.
Yeah,
Follows
shout
me
out
on
to
X.
Gary here, showing some really cool flows of the grayscale Bitcoin pressure on Bitcoin. You can see, guys, obviously this was the monumental fear we saw just a few weeks back of prices just starting to drag down to that, I don't even know what day it was, the 10th, 11th, the 12th, where we saw the ETF launch. Grayscale started dumping off their bags.
Yeah, then we had the 20% drawdown from 49K.
Yeah, and everybody started screaming, fire, fire. We're going to 25K,
It's
we're going
a
to 30K.
40% drawdown, 60% drawdown in the cards, and it looks like it's bouncing pretty hard off that 20% level.
Yeah, and they are running out of that to actually sell off. And you've actually brought up a lot of great points and discussions over the weeks of how this Grayscale money, even though it's being sold off and used as a fear tactic to kind of push retail out, it very well could be actually just inflowing into cheaper fee investment portfolios or cheaper ETFs through like whether that's IBIT or Fidelity, potentially Vanik. I don't know if you have more on that as well.
Yeah, I have the most recent Coin-Tucky Derby is going to have to be updated here. We're kind of looking at this yesterday, 33 million, but he just put out another one 1 hour ago, folks. We got the fresh data. Looks like total were inflows. Yes, yet again, we had outflows on Grayscale. $80 million leaving Grayscale. Oh my God, it's terrible. And for once, looks like BlackRock came in at number 2 instead of number 1. So BlackRock only pulled in 56 million, whereas Fidelity pulled in $130 million.
Wow.
We are firmly in the green with $146 million in ETF inflows for Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway, $3 billion. $3 billion, guys, is how much it's worth to smash that like button on this video, guys, and close that gap between the 600 of you beautiful people watching. Guys, let's smash that like button. We got a ton of content coming out here for you guys today. So that was that successful analyst, correct, that you were announcing to levels to watch in Bitcoin and Cardano. This was the article I think you pulled up that you wanted to cover.
Yeah, I didn't have time to pull it over here. I actually thought I was over there today, so I don't have it over here. But yeah, Cardano's moving. I see a lot of people just happy about the Cardano ecosystem. Both coins are moving heavily. Cardano alts, though, we're seeing a lot of big movers. You know what? We do like the live looks, right? We like the live looks. We like the live
tools.
Yeah, we're going to tap tools, baby.
When Cardano's under 50 cents, it's just one of those points. And I'm not even a Cardano holder, but you just got to say that is criminally undervalued.
Yeah.
It should not be allowed. So we're seeing that pump massively.
It was
for a top 15
$3 when
project.
it was nothing, essentially. It was a wallet. It was a wallet, and it was $3. All right, here we have now. You're going to see some red, but don't be worried. This is in Cardano. So Cardano pumped 10%, and so AGIX didn't pump 10%, so it actually lost. So when you see green, that means it pumped more than 10%. Snack gained. Linfi gained a little bit as well. Milk is up. I got a little milk there. Hunt is up as well, Shin. Folks, I tweeted about this one yesterday. I wish I would have shared it. You know what? It's because I found out after. Axo is destroying all the charts right now. Cardano pumped 10%, and Axo is pumping 30% on that 10%. You do a little math, slightly over 40, I believe is how that breaks down. So yeah, we're seeing Axo is just going nuts. Like I said, I tweeted about it. So those who are following the Twitter there, or the X account, I should say, congrats. We are doing pretty good. I put a little bit of Cardano in there, a little bit more than I would normally
Probably
put in a speculative alt. So
but it's
I'm feeling
well.
good. I'm feeling good about Axo right now.
Yeah, well, I have one of the most impressive crypto charts according to this analyst right here, Mads Eberhardt. If I pronounce it right on Coin. This is Crypto Quant here, guys. This is very interesting because someone asked a great question in chat. If you wanted to scroll up, he asked, do you think institutions are essentially done buying? Does this mean that we're going to see a price retracement now on Bitcoin's price? And of course, we'll get into the TA, we'll get into the liquidations, but this chart shows us, guys, and before I show you, I need to break it down. The chart I'm about to show you shows that historically, Ethereum has outpaced Bitcoin in generating transaction fees similar to revenue, owing to its expensive ecosystem, particularly its decentralized applications. Nevertheless, in recent months, Bitcoin's transaction fees have surged significantly, primarily because of the introduction of ordinals, which you guys know we're a huge fan of. This surge has enabled Bitcoin to surpass Ethereum in terms of transaction fees on certain days, and most recently, just a few days back on February 3rd. This is a really cool chart to see. So asking if there's going to be a retracement. Are we going to go to 30K? Are these institutions done selling off? Is Mt. Gox going to come out of left field and just dump $4 billion on the market? The reality is Bitcoin's network is starting to become more active than ever, more bullish than ever, and we are less than 60 days before the halving. And if you look historically, we're about to have Kelly join us here today and show you guys some historical metrics. But if you guys have been following our channel and are subscribed, you would know that we tend to get run-ups towards that Bitcoin halving. And the Bitcoin halving, just like the spot Bitcoin ETF news, just like the Coinbase listing IPO news, just like the Bitcoin futures ETF news, is also a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So it's very possible we actually just get a run-up until that Bitcoin halving. Welcome to the stream today, Kelly. Thank you for joining us.
House.
How are you feeling about these charts? Is it nice and green? Is it Christmas?
Hey,
let us know.
No, I'm feeling great. I did a huge buy yesterday, layered in. I ignored all TA. I did it like a beginner. I broke it down yesterday on the BitLab stream. It's also in the BitLab Discord, but I was basically looking at how we can position trades to take advantage of this next 12 to 18 months, where, predictably, based on historical analysis, will likely be roundabout when the next market cycle top is. And I was telling Nick earlier this morning, never have I done a 12 coin buy, and every single coin that I bought the next day is up, in the 7 to 12% range. So of course it's a good day, and it doesn't mean it's always going to be up like that, but we got to pay attention to where we're at right now. And you just set the perfect foundation, Josh. And that's, where are we at? Looking at the Bitcoin halving, we're 95% of the way there. This little gap is representative of essentially where we're at compared to this next halving. Yes, we've had large run-ups and sell-offs and black swans. We've also had a lot of accumulation here, and push-ups and sell-offs and consolidations and push-ups. And what is this? Rise, retrace, continuation. Retrace, continuation, retrace, continue all the way till we get to the top. We need to zoom out sometimes and realize we're going to have some chop along the way, but large in part, we are entering a zone right now that if you have not taken advantage of where we're at in the market cycle, if you have not taken advantage of, stop following these FUD news narratives and look at the bigger picture. Take advantage of this opportunity, because there's a lot going on right now. Now, in relationship to what's going on with, all this price action, not only are we going to see higher engagement on all the social platforms for crypto, but look at this, a 96% increase in volume over the last 24 hours on derivatives trends right here. So this means people in there starting to bet heavy. And I'm going to show you some liquidation maps in here also that Josh shared in the Discord. But first, let's just look at where we're at. Let's not take it out of context. This feels phenomenal. We broke out of this symmetrical triangle here. We're pushing up, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us before we just say we're going to $100,000 or above. We still have this huge macro blue trend line right here. This macro trend line, and now it's sitting right. Oops. Now it's sitting right above where we're at right now, and we need to pay attention to this 46.5 region. We're also entering right in the middle of this order block. I will say, on a bullish note, it is incredible that we've sliced through this level where we had previous resistance, support, and now we're slicing through this zone, but we still have this area to contend with, and this zone up here, basically 48 to 50,000. Now, everybody wanted to talk about this inverse head and shoulders. Interestingly, the target out of this essentially is right into this region, testing these previous highs and testing this previous high all the way back over here. So we got some work ahead of us. This feels good, but let's sort of watch for where we could potentially pull back. Now, on that note, I will also say with ETH is setting up for some wonderful bullishness right now, because one of those things we look for on-chain data, and if you don't understand on-chain data, get in the BitLab Academy. We talk about this. We have a whole course, individual lessons on this. And I'm going to give you guys a little secret here in a moment. But on this on-chain data, we see the net flows, coins coming off of exchange. Also, we have this parabolic sort of support that is rising into this zone. And this is suggesting that Ethereum price movement may be moving upward in the next coming days. Now, the technicals show this, but also the understanding about this potential Ethereum ETF and some movement happening around that. We saw that with some of the, I think you guys are going to cover this in a bit, with some amendments on the 21 shares application. Now, in addition to all this, we're talking about alts. Total 3. This is basically the total 3 is a metric of all alts. Basically, separate Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look at the market cap of everything. Just look at the big picture. We had a large rounding bottom here, a lot of accumulation, and we have broken through this zone and found support on it. Keep it simple.
So this large, or not to cut you off, but this large rounding bottom, is this why we're seeing the MOAS?
You know what? We're seeing the MOAS, but this is also, sometimes you need MOAS, you know? And essentially what we're looking at right now is understanding that we, as bullish as we are, if we're really deep in these charts, we also, the majority of the market is in this sort of disbelief stage right now. So this is where we get this battle between the narrative of bulls and bears. Now, 2 more things I want to show you before we go. This is incredibly bullish for what's going on. It doesn't mean we can't have a pullback. But I would argue that if we do get a pullback from here, it's screaming as an opportunity for the coins that you pick in your portfolio to figure out ways to not trade in and out of this if you're taking longer term position trades. Now, if you are trading, and we all trade here on Blofin, you can take advantage of these movements right now, but I would start leaning to a bullish bias and be looking for buy opportunities, not short opportunities. Now, Josh pointed this out in the BITLAB Discord, essentially this windshield wiper method, and he's going to go over that a bit more in a second, I'm sure. But we just recorded a whole course on this, a whole lesson on this for the BITLAB Academy. And what we're looking at right now is 2 days ago, we had this huge sort of liquidation all the way through here. Basically, we look at these like magnets and also potentially resistance. And what's happened is we sliced right through this, giving us, you know, a bit of clarity of clearing out this liquidity, giving us a little bit of room to move to the upside. That doesn't mean we cannot have some pullbacks along the way. And we can see that right here with this line all the way up into the zone. We still have some levels above us that we could still push up into, but I would be watching for an opportunity for a small pullback. I'm not saying 34,000. I'm saying as we push up into 46, potentially into 47, that we look for at some point a retest or failure at $45,000. Now, Josh, I got a question for you. We got, Josh, we've done something very special for you, for your community as you're coming over here, and we were going to keep it just for them, just for the super insiders in your crew. But I think we should share it with everybody here, everybody that's here.
I think we should share the love. It's Valentine's Day coming up, and you know, I think we all need somebody over the weekend and next week. So guys, we are going to be giving away, of course, you guys, I think you have the link in the bio, correct? Is that where you have it, Kelly?
The link is in the bio, and Hannah, if you could share it, it's lab.bitlabacademy.com/Josh, lab.bitlabacademy.com/Josh. And with that, we have this special deal that we're doing for the super insiders. And this is very limited time. You can actually sign up for the premium Discord for free. No commitment, for free. And if you do sign up for this, immediately after you sign up for this, you'll have an opportunity to upgrade and get the best bundle we've ever done because remember, guys, it's not just our premium Discord where we're sharing all this stuff. I just broke down all the coins I bought, why I bought them, what I'm looking at. We have TA Tim in here breaking down things on a daily basis. We have spot trades, chart requests, and live sessions in here on a regular basis. But we also have all the courses breaking everything down. And then, of course, all these incredible indicators that I use exclusively for trading. So use that link, lab.bitlabacademy.com. You can sign up for free for 30 days and also do the upgrade if you want. And again, that's a limited time. And Josh is in there. We're all in there. Deezy's in there. Get him.
If you want to see MOAS, you get 30 free days of it with me and Kelly in that Discord. So go join it. Click that like button. Kelly, absolute pleasure. Yeah, that mother of all short squeeze, guys. Get your mind out of the gutter. Chat, let me know, though. Do you want to see MOAS out of the markets? I need to know, right? That is how we get to higher prices. That very round bottom is what led us to this MOAS here. Bitcoin breaking against U.S. bonds hits a new all-time high. This is absolutely beautiful to see. And if we actually zoom out on the chart, it simply means shut up and buy that Bitcoin. If you see behind us here, buy Bitcoin. This is coming from the British HODL, guys. It's not Chainlink this week. It's going to be our
Not
Bitcoin
Chainlink.
this week.
And if you listen to us on that day, you did pretty well. I will say
Really well.
You did very, very
You're
well. And I was looking, Axo at one point, just I tried to pull it up just on the regular charts for you to share this real quick. I tweeted about it about 24 hours ago. Gonna look at Axo trade today. And if you caught that top, hey, just a casual 43% pump in 13 hours. Good job there. And, maybe you only caught the 30. Maybe you're still holding. You're only up 35%. So
yeah, and someone actually just put out in the chat too. Gary Sturl said that I'm buying altcoins now. They haven't moved as much yet against Bitcoin. So it's actually a very good thing that he pointed out because I wanted to show you guys this chart that generally how this works is Bitcoin will pump. So fiat will move into Bitcoin. That will then move into large caps, which we did see today. That then floods into mid caps and then low caps and back up to Bitcoin. It is a cycle. It is repetitive. We tend to see this nonstop. So if you guys did miss out on that initial rally, just like Kelly showed you guys, if you can wait for that pullback, wait for those opportunities, that is when you really want to start accumulating as we've been able to accumulate over these last few weeks. So really cool stuff to say. But we have a trend emerging between Bitcoin and TLT, the US long bond ETF, in early December as Bitcoin denominated in TLT hit a triple top previously seen in 2021. So this is how the chart looks like right here, guys. And what it means is that this trend suggests an interesting aspect of the financial markets, as Bitcoin traditionally viewed as a risky asset displays resilience compared to the TLT, a global benchmark for relatively safe assets. These are supposed to be some of the safest assets you can, I think they are the safest, one of the safest on the entire market. But notably, guys, Bitcoin ETFs are experiencing substantial inflows, potentially offering tailwinds to Bitcoin's price. So
we just looked at those numbers. Yeah, tens of millions of inflows just consistently happening day after day after day after day.
Yeah, and it's like this is now outbeating our treasury markets, which is just, say that to a Wall Street banker 10 years ago, they would have had an aneurysm. It's like that isn't supposed to happen. They still refuse to say it's going to happen. But that is the trend, guys. This is where Bitcoin's going. How people say that you're too late to these markets is just blasphemy at this point. We have said that, or not we, but they have said that for over a decade. They've given Bitcoin hundreds, if not thousands of obituaries at this point saying it is dead, declaring it dead. It is deceased. Here is its funeral. And it always comes back. So I expect that $60,000 Bitcoin soon. It is going to be a bumpy year here. What's up?
Well, speaking of year, there's the Chinese New Year and what it does to Bitcoin. Now, folks, history often rhymes. It doesn't always repeat here, but this is pretty interesting. Bitcoin has done the same exact thing every single Chinese New Year. We're rolling up. Can you look up Chinese New Year? What's the actual date? It does fluctuate. I think there's like a little window it fluctuates. Well, here is here's the analysis that breaks down. So the Chinese New Year effect on Bitcoin, and it's here it goes right here. So we got that happening. It's the 10th. All right. So the analysts point out there are 3 days left until the start of the new year and claim that Bitcoin should be bought 3 days before the start of the new year and sold 10 days later. And if you do that, you're just going to make on average a 11% pump in a 2-week period, which would be great. That'd be, you could do that 26 times in a year. I mean, that's 11% pump time 26 times. 26. I don't know if it's going to play out. I think the more people learn about this, the less likely it does play out. But it does seem like that strategy, always green.
I think it's Year of the Dragon.
It is the Year of the Dragon.
Yeah, it's Year of the Dragon. So it's supposed to be a very, very lucky year. And it's honestly feeling pretty lucky with these prices. So yeah, 11%. Did you have it on the chart right there?
Looks like I think because that 24% pump, that's the
here it
mean
is.
there.
It's right here. Yeah, the Bitcoin returns around Chinese New Year's. I just wanted to see that myself. That is absolutely insane. So 2021.
So 3 days before, 10 days after.
So
you're up.
I'm curious now too. You're up every single time. And then we're moving into a bull cycle too. So the 12 to 13% was lower in a bear market. What would it look like in returns of a bull run? A dragon run. Is this a dragon run? Is that what we're saying? This is going to be just explosive. There's no longer bull markets, dragon markets. I like it. I like the sound of that.
You heard of Dragon Coin?
Dragon Coin? Yeah. I was going to say Dragon.
You already got it. You already knew what I was going to say. You already knew what I was going to say.
Is that what you're going to do to me right now?
Yeah,
you're going to do that right now?
I was going to do that right now.
That was like Dragon. Okay. Arthur Hayes be dragging epic Bitcoin price predictions of $1 million.
I'm sorry.
That was good. I was like, no way he's doing this. He's not doing this to me right now. Bitcoin priced the 1 million club, though. Arthur Hayes now believes that Bitcoin has what it takes to soar to $1 million, a projection that seems just senile, but is considered one of the most ambitious for the coin to date. However, Arthur Hayes, guys, is not alone. He is not lonely. Why? Because he joined that BITLAB Academy with me for a free 30-day trial. He's going to be with me in those classes. That's a joke. Samson Mao, guys, though, is known as the biggest advocate of this mega price target. Samson Mao is as vocal as Hayes. So we have multiple forecasts and analysts now projecting a $1 million Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, when I hear Mao, I just can't help but think of Full Metal Jacket, and I believe that is Thai for now. And so, I'm sorry, no, Deer Hunter, correct, Nick? Mao. I believe that's now in Deer Hunter, so that's Vietnamese, I believe. So I just think, go to $1 million, Mao. Make it happen now.
Make
it happen right now.
Needs to happen today,
it
not
needs
tomorrow.
to happen, Mao.
Well, what's happening right now, guys, is Bitcoin miners' reserves dropping.
Let me look at this, because I went in and I dug deep while you were talking previously. Bitcoin miner reserves dropped to June 21 levels. What does this mean for price? Well, not everyone remembers what it was like back then. It was very, very bullish. This is January 21. This is the start, essentially, the start of the explosive part of the bull rally here. June, look, I'm going to go right to June 1st. June 1st, right about right here. It was very, very bearish. A lot of smart people, Nick, I remember me and you were newer employees here, at the time. There's a lot of smart people saying it is done. It is over. Bitcoin's not going to a new all-time high. You should have sold in May and walked away. And if you sold in May and walked away, you did great if you sold in May and walk away, unless you didn't buy in June and July. So June, let me just say this. It took 2 months for it to play out. But that miner selling volume got exhausted, and then it was off to the races right now. And it looks like there's only so much that they can sell. So right now we have the reserves of the miners dropping to these previous levels. Sometimes this signifies a big bounce in the horizon, maybe next 50 days.
Yeah, and the reason, guys, we're not talking about a little sum of money in terms of Bitcoin. We're talking about 14,000 Bitcoin. Their holdings have dropped by 14,000 Bitcoin in less than 2 months. That's less than 60 days. That is less time than we have before the next Bitcoin halving, suggesting that these miners have been selling some of their stash, going by an average of about $43,000 Bitcoin as of January 2024. This means that Bitcoin miners have sold over $600 million worth of Bitcoin so far. So my takeaway from this, guys, we don't need to go into all the technicals and the boring analytics. It's even though despite these miners selling, despite the institutions selling, despite bankers telling retail to sell, the volume is being picked up by our, obviously, institutions and these ETFs. We're seeing billions of dollars in inflows, and whatever is outflowing right now is being sustained. It is starting to grab those new support levels, which might very well have been a bottom at $38,000. Haha, Bob, you boys like Mexico? Oh, no, not that question. I'm just saying hi. I am here in Washington State working for your dear friend, Brian Emery.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. Brian's in Washington. Him and his brother, they got a little Airbnb empire they're trying to create out there. So I'm assuming maybe something related with that. Let's see. Channel, is he making you put those little signs up? You know what I mean? I buy junk cars. Brian's got a million hustles.
He's got a flying sign flip, and he's like, Airbnb this way. But
he just keeps turning it into real estate and crypto, and I got to respect the hustle when it comes to that.
That's how you diversify. But what doesn't diversify is the U.S. Department of Energy.
It's always FUD. They never diversify from that opinion.
Just completely FUD. EIA.
Is there more of that happening? Are they fudding still?
Well, let me just say this. They've been accused of federal overreach. Would you expect the government to ever just put their hands too far into your pockets?
Design is destiny. And if you have a system of control and you want to have more control, the design is going to mean you just consistently garner more and more control as we go year after year.
So you'd say that's an abuse of authority?
I would say by definition, it will reach those limits. If it hasn't already, I think people are going to be in different opinions. I think if you just look back at a 1,000-yard view here, it will happen eventually.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what's taking place here, guys. They've been accused of federal overreach and abusing their authority after it was announced that it would be granted the power to regularly collect energy use data from crypto miners.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. Last week in an emergency request that was approved by the Office of Management and Budget, the OMB, the EIA was cleared, too many three-letter words here, to demand that commercial crypto miners share their energy usage details as part of a survey. This is interesting. So pretty much it alleged in its request that public harm is responsibly if normal clearance procedures are followed. They're saying that if they don't do this, this is going to hurt the public. In what way is my curious?
Oh, because they won't have the data to know how terrible
Yeah.
it is. You know, that they can fudge the numbers, you know, tweak the numbers a little bit, and then, you know, compare it to like peak energy usage July 20th when everyone had their AC blowing.
Yeah.
They'll say, oh, well, look what it's doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, they'll look, you know, people, there's a lot of mining rigs that are going to be turned off in April. Nick, can you just give a couple sentences on that? Why is the energy consumption about to be slashed dramatically?
The energy consumption or the hash rate? Because
Isn't it both? I mean, aren't a lot of people going to turn their rigs off?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that FOMO'd in institutionally that are not going to be able to pay their bills. So that's going to happen. The consumption for just the general mining, like there's no change in the actual miners themselves. So they're not becoming more efficient. They're becoming less efficient because there's less Bitcoin that's going to be emitted.
Yeah, every 10 minutes, it's going from what, 3 point to 1.7.
It's going from
Which is why you either need
6 to 3.
Yeah,
It's why you need you either need cheaper energy now and lower those costs, or you need to increase the amount of miners you have to produce the same amount of
Can
Bitcoin.
we just mine Bitcoin off cow farts already? Like, can we just make it happen?
We can actually.
Feed me enough dairy, I'll
we
run
can
a
capture
Bitcoin
the
rig.
methane. But one of the excuses on this, guys, the public harm, the reason I'm talking about this is because they say it's going to become too loud for local communities. So, yeah, sorry to the ears of those folks.
Sorry.
I'd rather smell cow gas, right? Is that what you're using, Nick? Or what do you power yours with?
I don't have a Bitcoin miner right now, but if I did, I would probably run it off of hydro.
Yeah, I just put mine in the microwave and I just turn it on, and the
That's really
radioactivity,
Yeah, that works too.
fastest mining right there ever.
It's incredibly
Blockchain
smart.
could have saved Americans $74 billion on credit card fees, guys. How many of you are in credit card debt? I'm very curious, because $74 billion was just completely wasted that could have been saved by blockchain right here. Coinbase, a leading cryptocurrency exchange, has emphasized the potential of blockchain technology to save American consumers billions of dollars in the latest state of a crypto report. So essentially what they're starting to tell us here, I'm going to read into this report, is that these banks didn't need those aggressive interest rate fees this entire time, and they could have actually saved the American almost hundreds of billions of dollars.
I have a couple issues with this article. One, it's assuming everyone's going to be using a low gas transaction system. I don't know if that would be the case. I think you're going to have some Bitcoin maxi who doesn't even want to use the Lightning Network, who's okay waiting 10 minutes for his coffee. I think there's some people who are just like, well, I'm just going to do ETH. And we're like, no, it's a $3 gas fee. Don't, use this L2. They're like, shut up, nerd. I'm using ETH. I don't care. I'm just buying $50 worth of gas. Yeah, it wouldn't, they're assuming here's how much it costs on the blockchain. They don't know. They can't know.
I think what's something cool to ask about this, though, is what if we do switch to blockchain? Would that $74 billion?
What chain should they use? Chat. What chain should they use? Also, there's something I had an issue with this article. Something I haven't said in a while. Real quick, do you see Jesus coin going up? It rose last time, but I feel like that a large part, and I'm not trying to be funny, I think a large part of that audience gravitated towards Trump coin. And if you think of the background of those two communities, probably overlap.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying a lot of evangelical Christians who might be interested in a Jesus meme coin are probably now looking at Trump meme coin instead.
That sounds logical.
Well, and let's just say Jesus did go away and not come back, and he still hasn't come back for thousands of years. So just remember that price might disappear. But we did have someone say, if you have credit card debt, you shouldn't be buying Bitcoin at all. What if I'm using my credit card to buy Bitcoin?
Ooh, I like that. All right.
games,
Well,
mind
the
games.
other issue I
Don't
had
do
with
that.
this article is something I've said often: suspiciously round numbers. When you see suspiciously, when you see it, it just maybe it's a coincidence, right? Maybe it had to. Look at these numbers real quick. Well, Americans, they could have saved $74 billion, but the merchants shelled out $126 billion. You add those up together, you get exactly $200 billion.
Wow.
Okay, maybe, or maybe it's just a number that they're making up.
It's just like
That's,
it's a rounding error of 56.7.
That's a David Sachs rule, right? David Sachs.
rounded up.
Suspiciously round numbers
Yeah,
are always
beware.
to be
Yeah.
judged. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to say I heard Scott Adams say that first, but yeah, they often echo the same sentiments.
Yeah, what I'm curious is even because this system is going to switch, whether it's in 5 or 10 years. It's just more efficient, it's faster, it's more scalable, etc. So it's like, this is something I would honestly watch just in general of saying, yeah, this could be an injection of stimulus technically per household. Like if the credit cards get cheaper, they can add on more debt theoretically, or add on more credits.
Now, what's the best way to lower prices, right? Is competition. But isn't it just Visa and
Bring more
MasterCard
supply.
essentially doing like 90 some odd % of credit card transactions?
Yeah, they're just gonna-
I think we've seen when there's a duopoly like Apple Store and Google Store, sometimes things get a little
Stagnant.
yeah, not as competitive as you would like.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would agree. Well, we also have chain analysis guys here revealing record-breaking 1 billion in ransomware payments in 2023. Guys, stop falling for the blackmail. All right. According to chain analysis reports shared with Crypto Potato, ransomware, and I'm just kidding about that, by the way, guys, payments in 2023 exceeded $1 billion, reaching an all-time high, despite a decrease in ransomware payments in 2022. The overall trend from 2019 to 2023 indicates a growing problem. Now, this is immediately going to highlight this as an issue, and this is what Elizabeth Warren likes to come out and go, there's a lot of illicit activities, and then to scream to Congress, but $1 billion? I mean, we're seeing trillions in this industry.
Yeah,
are we talking
the
1%?
CIA and the PRC, they're raking it in.
They're just this far. Yeah, it's literally them. Chain analysis revealed that 2022 was an anomaly and not a trend. Various factors such as geopolitical events like the Russian-Ukraine conflict likely contributed to the decline in ransom activities. Are they saying war is the answer? However, 2023 witnessed a significant escalation in frequency, scale, and volume
Lindsey
of
Graham
ransomware.
said that's always
So,
the answer.
We
Always.
have more. Now, the takeaway from this is, scary. But one, it has barely moved since 2021, right? 1.1 billion, 983 billion. There's always going to be illicit activities. There's always going to be ransomware, but it is minuscule. And honestly, guys, if this number isn't increasing by a slight, that means the market's probably not growing. If, we have a $10 trillion market cap, we're probably going to have a few, at least 5 to 10 billion in illicit activities. And I can honestly just say that's the one thing I trust the government to lack on, is actually allowing that to take place. So I expect this to scale. I would like it to decrease, but that just is any sector, any whether it's US dollar, the yuan, any digital currency, you're going to see those illicit activities.
We got a couple things. One, hey, everybody, we're going to start 30 minutes late tomorrow.
No.
Because we're talking to a very special guest. Oprah.
Whoa.
No. It's the Oprah of blockchain.
What?
The most respected, best communicator. I'm talking about Charles Hoskinson. He doesn't own land in Hawaii, as far as I know. I think it's just Wyoming.
Oh, he doesn't have bunkers being built for $1 billion?
Well, honestly, if he had secret bunkers, I would dig it. I would say
they'd probably be really cozy.
Well, it would be on his brand, right? He's self-sustaining farm. He's like milking his own cows. But when you see an elite who's like chauffeured everywhere, wears white gloves, that person, you don't think of a prepper. Charles Hoskinson, it's on brand for him. Billionaire elite, that's not on brand.
Have you seen,
then I'm suspicious when they build a bunker.
Yeah,
if
definitely.
Drew builds a bunker, I am not suspicious of secret information.
No.
When Oprah and The Rock build a bunker, I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious.
What I would imagine Charles with would be, have you seen the show Silo?
Yeah,
now,
great
minus
show.
all the murder crazy stuff, I would imagine you have a very self-sufficient, perfect ecosystem with his bison grazing and like
so
some field built underground.
Tesla humanoid robots and beta. You're like, how'd you even get those already?
I'm like, this is nice into my house, but
yeah, Chucky Ho-Ho, Charles Hoskinson, as Jacob calls him. Charles Hoskinson is going to be on tomorrow. We're going to talk to him. Very, very excited about that.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys want us to ask him. We'll be taking a few community questions, so just spam it in the chat if you guys want us to ask anything. We might take
in the
it
comments,
and ask
actually.
it for you guys, and in the comments. After this, because of course we'll be also choosing one lucky winner to win Ethereum tomorrow.
Someone had a question, can the bull run start before the halving? Well, let me just pull up previous halving period here. This is about a 1 year period with the halving in the middle. Halving was June 2020, and right now we're a couple months before. So we did get that dump. This is COVID, everybody. So let's just pretend the green line kind of did this instead. If you got in, let's say, even just a regular pullback area, 6 months before the halving, you're from 7,000 to 12,000. I would say that feels pretty bullish. But yeah, going from 15 to 45, that is pretty bullish, though.
Yeah,
I would say look closer to like these levels, though, when you're worried about it's done a 3x already. I don't know if it can keep pumping. Well, it did a 3x from here, and we know it ended up near 70,000. So you would have said, 10K feels toppy. We end up 7xing from there.
Yeah, definitely.
Still high on Beam. Yeah, Beam. We got a Polkadot video in the cards where we might, it shows you how to buy Beam. It is difficult to buy. I'll go ahead and admit it. It's difficult to buy, but that's sometimes when there's the best gains because retail hasn't FOMO'd in because it's too difficult to buy. So that can be a good thing, but if they don't make it easy to buy, eventually it'll turn into a bad thing. Right now we're still early, so I wouldn't say it's a bad thing yet.
Definitely. And what else is not a bad thing is PayPal's newest partnership with a project we love and adore, guys. So we do have to change this now to CHAINLINK because PayPal PYUSD stablecoin gains CHAINLINK price feed support. Everybody uses CHAINLINK. If you're not using CHAINLINK, you're doing something wrong. Pi to USD is a new stablecoin, guys, backed by assets like dollar deposits and US treasuries, offering openness and programmability. issued by Paxos, a leader in regulated blockchain infrastructure. You guys should already know about a lot of this. Paxos, though, this was announced on Chainlink's Twitter, has adopted Chainlink here to be their price feed and secure price data. So this is really cool to just see. Chainlink has continued to adopt and work and build, and more partnerships are increasing. This is just bullish overall.
Can we share my screen real quick?
Yeah.
I just posted this video. Okay, we're on mute here.
Ooh, nice.
This was on Discover. This was on the YouTube 3-4 days ahead of time. But, sometimes we like to post things just a little bit late for X. We give you guys the alpha, especially the members here. I just have my thoughts on Chainlink. What is tokenized securities? What the heck does it even mean? Then I talk about how many trades are secret, because often a criticism, well, BlackRock wouldn't integrate Chainlink because they don't want a public ledger. Well, I talk about privacy, private blockchains, and they might be a little bit more keen on that than you think. Some in the charts have me bullish. Pick and shovel strategy. You'd know. If not, watch the video so you can learn. And then I just give my price prediction.
Yeah, and honestly, we won't tease yours, but chat, what do you believe Chainlink can hit this bull run? I know I've sent some outrageous numbers. I think it could do a 4 to 5x easily from where it's at, and that sounds small, but that is actually massive and monumental in terms of the market cap for Chainlink. So give me your guys' price predictions. Are you looking at a $50, a $60, a $100?
100, 200, I hear 100, 200,000. Probably the three most common.
It's going to replace Bitcoin. No, nothing crazy here, guys. Well, what's replacing Bitcoin is Prometheum, the only U.S. registered crypto platform, also known as Salt and Pepper Gary Gensler, picks Ether as its first product. The much debated crypto broker who scoffs all the time says it's poised to start its SEC compliant custody with Ethereum, then will soon add other names and begin trading operations in months. If you guys don't know who Aaron Kaplan is, we actually just had Thinking Crypto on yesterday to discuss his interview with him, which is actually awesome that he did sit down with him. I don't know if he would sit down with me just because I've made a lot of videos on this guy. But essentially, if you don't know who Aaron Kaplan is, he is the founder, and I believe CEO, the co-CEO of Ethereum or Prometheum, which is the poster child for the SEC in terms of crypto regulation in the United States. They try to claim that Coinbase and all these other exchanges and custodial funds, or these companies essentially, are illegal, that they're not meeting that regulatory clarity, and that they're the only ones. So overall, guys, they are looking to see Ethereum get listed and now trade that with Bitcoin. What I would still watch from this is put your biased opinions, aside here. If they decide to choose another crypto after this, it's going to give it that clarity. So this is the poster child for the SEC. Congress talks about, there's actually investigations into this company because they're owned and invested into by Wangjing Blockchain Labs, which falls into that weird Ethereum issues with Gary Gensler back in like 2017 and MIT, I think, up into 2019. Overall, if they say XRP or Chainlink or Cardano, whatever next crypto happens to be next, that is huge in terms of clarity on where that regulatory front will be, because these are the insiders.
Yeah, it's an inside peek to what the regulatory bodies are thinking, I would say. Let's just read through some of these predictions. 85, 90, 450, 150, $200, $120, $300, $500.
Wow.
Stank leg to $260 there. All right.
Is this worth $260? I'm curious. Can they even see this? They can't see this.
Hang on.
Is this the stank leg? This is $260, I think. I could turn this into a lamp and sell it for an NFT, I think it's pretty nice. I think it's pretty nice.
All right, now you do it, and this is our Drake impression. Okay.
Oh!
Wow.
Clap it! Ethereum tops
show.
2.4K as Kathy Woods
End the
arc
show.
21 shares. Immense spot. Sorry.
I'm breaking
Oh,
I broke jaws twice today. I feel good.
Oh my, that was. Can we show an image? No. Spot ETF filing here, guys. Look at this
Do
chart.
not Google.
Do not Google. Ethereum's native token Ether jumped over $2,400. We actually already covered this story in terms of the price action, the volume, and everything on why Ethereum's moving. I think we're going to continue to see upside. I saw someone in chat earlier say that it's not been seeing money flow into Ethereum. Guys, Ethereum is the second largest market cap, and it's actually sustained itself a lot better, in my opinion, than Bitcoin's price action over the last few months here. It was moving insanely. So when Bitcoin dropped from like 49K to 38K, Ethereum did not fall
that too.
nearly as much. What
How
do you got
many
here?
Drakes tall are you? It's
How many
funny.
Drakes?
That's good.
0.7.
I think it's like the Vesuvian man.
Yeah.
Speaking of 25% of a Vesuvian man, Ethereum supply, you had to walk out on it. Ethereum supply is now staked, guys, on this network. This is incredibly bullish. The amount of Ethereum, guys, staked, 25%.
I'm tweeting that.
25% of Ethereum supply is now staked. That is incredibly bullish. That means it is locked up That is how bullish people are on this. We have the amount of Ether just continuing to explode. Staking rewards are declining from a peak of 8.6% post Chapella to now under 4%. So even though the rewards are dropping, more and more people are staking. That is huge. For the first time, the portion of Ether supply staked on Ethereum network has surpassed a quarter of that supply. Look at this. Up only trend, guys. July 23rd up to Jan 24. This is that MOAS, guys. We are seeing the mother of all short squeezes take place in front of us, not just in Bitcoin, but as well as a lot of these altcoin ecosystems as well. There's more and more adoption. There are more and more holders. There's more and more whales, more and more institutions, and that's going to have a massive impact on the price of these moving into 2024.
I would say so for sure. And yeah, just also on that kind of narrative, 100,000 new unique addresses daily in 2024. It's pretty close. Was it 97,000? I think is the average around here. If I can find that. Yeah. So on average, 2024 daily increase, 95,000 addresses daily for Ethereum right there. Now, how much is human? How much is bots? How much is actual humans doing bot-like behavior, 20 wallets to try to get an airdrop? I think it's a combination of those things. But I would say it's still largely a bullish metric. When you see it consistent, it's when you see a spike out of nowhere that lasts exactly 2 weeks and then the spike disappears. Okay, maybe that's a little suspicious. But now we're 39 days into the year and it seems fairly consistent.
Yeah, and what I would say is, guys, I would be only worried if you ever see this chart right here, Ethereum unique addresses drop. So yeah, he's right about the botting and stuff. So if we ever saw it just drop by like 100 million, you got to be like, all right, something broke in this network. The bots were taken off. Again, we can't ever justify that or talk about that, but it is up only to the right. And this does go to show either way, the adoption is taking place and increasing more and more. It's not the same one dude from 5 years ago. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe he's got his Apple headset on now and he's like, managing 400 nodes, but that's just not reality, right?
Not the reality. But the reality is crypto trading hits its busiest pace since June 22. January saw a higher spot trading volume on centralized exchanges amid the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US. And I would say, yeah, you see a nice bottoming in September, and we'll see if this trend can continue. Aggregate monthly spot volumes.
Yeah, it just continues to shoot up. And I expect and anticipate as we move into this bull run, you're going to see more and more volume, and you're going to start seeing candlesticks like that Drake pick. Experimental ERC 404 token rockets to 170 million market cap. This is really cool. So this is a new update standard for tokens. It's experimental, but this could actually bring even more adoption on Ethereum because it combines the features of NFTs and its actual token in the Ethereum system. So overall, I'm going to kind of make this sound a little bit easier. You see all of the, let me zoom in. Imagine all of these lights that are just zooming out of this box. Okay, these are all transactions. These are all tokens taking place. And the slippage, these are all your traders out there in the market that are dealing with slippage. And they make a transaction, they lose value. They make a transaction, they lose value because they have to pay those rewards and that slippage fees to the validators on that network. This is like taking all of those transactions, bundling them into an NFT, and only making it move once so you can save and eliminate those slippage issues, which is kind of interesting. I think this might work well in specifically the Web3 gaming industry. So where maybe they have kind of this CeFi setup where the company takes all of the token transactions, bundle them together, and then puts it in an NFT to make the transactions cheaper within that network. There's a lot of cool scenarios that can take place from this. I haven't studied in it too much, but this offers a unique approach for projects interested in combining the easily tradable nature of ERC20s and the non-fungible assets of the ERC 721. So really cool.
Yeah, and I saw it early on my radar because of D's, not DZ, D's, the punk with the 3D glasses there, and he's been tweeting about this thing for a couple of days here, looking at these smaller market caps. He thought he was late at $20 million, and what is the market cap right now?
For
that token.
Which, yeah, sorry, what was the token price one more time? Sorry, not token price. What was the token name?
It is, I don't even know. I have to, DYM.
Oh, yeah,
DYM.
Dimension. That's right. DYM. It is it's up 17%, $7.41. Is that what this project does? I haven't even had time to look at this yet.
Yeah, and he's been tweeting about it, and there's an NFT that's behind it, and the NFTs has just been going up, going nuts here, and just looking at some of these charts here. But whenever you feel bad, look, he was up. He could have got in way earlier, and it's up 20x. Handed to him on a silver platter. He didn't make a move. This is crypto. Sometimes you got to move fast, man.
Yeah, I clicked on their website because I went to their portal. They do have an increasing amount of addresses here. I would watch for the supply stuff. We'll have to do a video on Dimension here, but that would be interesting. Definitely watch out. That is going to be a new update coming here soon. and really important to watch. We also have cross-chain protocol Wormhole announces airdrop in 4-year tokens, tokenomic plan here. This is for any of the airdrop fans out there. We'll be quick on this, but there's a lot of money to be made in airdrops right now. I've seen multiple people make tens of thousands of dollars. Pudgy Penguins just made like millions for their holders with their airdrop. But using the ticker W, the token will have a maximum supply of 10 billion. And usually how you guys jump into this is once part of jump trading had 120,000 ETH, you guys just want to go participate in this network. We'd have to do a dedicated video to explain how that works for you guys. But watch out for these airdrops. Okay, sometimes it only takes maybe 40, 50, 60 bucks, which could be a lot to some people. But if you can take that time and use these for like test nets or, get into their beta projects, sometimes those airdrops end up being worth 50 to 60x. And that is an actual known estimate in the crypto industry.
Well, what's also a known entity in the crypto industry is FUD, right? They try to FUD you. They try to shake you out of the markets. Sometimes they do it with misleading headlines. And I think we got a pretty good misleading headline right here. Bitcoin-related funds marked 99% crypto outflows last week. You're saying, wait a minute, DZ, we just looked at yesterday, and it's like over $100 million in the positive. We're seeing, grayscale's down, but more than offset by the inflow. So when you see crypto funds, 99% crypto outflows last week, and you're not following crypto news, and you have a little Bitcoin on your Coinbase, what do you want to do when you see that?
Sell it.
You want to sell. You want to get out of the market. It's shaking you out of the market. Well, when we dip into the article here, just to really read into the weeds here, well, wait a minute. It's inflows for the first time in 3 weeks. Wait a minute. Hundreds of millions of dollars coming. Where are you getting these outflows from? In fact, the outflows were more than offset by these inflows from the weeks before. 708 coming in, 500 out. So where are they getting this crazy headline? 99% outflows? That doesn't even make sense. They're talking about there were flows in the assets under management for ETFs. I guess ETFs don't really have many people selling like that. Looks like 99% of the outflows for last week. Even though it was for a positive, they're counting all outflows. They're just looking at an outflow number. So $100 left the ecosystem. $200 came in. They're just saying, yeah, but can you believe the $100 left the ecosystem? In fact, 99% of that. And you're like, well, wait a minute. It's net green. This is just a perfect example of they're trying to shake you out of the markets. Don't let them.
Yeah, I never would have thought in my life I would see a news outlet cherry pick data to just benefit their views. Never, guys. Speaking of cherry picking data, we got some old timers in the chats. Cardano is moving. Is ADA dumping? That is what is coming in this chat here. Au revoir. I don't even know how to say that. Is that French? Au revoir. That's how it's written. That's cool. In this case, one can assume that the accumulation is not for the short term. It also means that the participation are confident in long term. So, man, one of those headlines that is just like, hey, FUD. Wait, everybody's accumulating. Price action is just rising. Everybody is holding. They're partnering with Solana. These are questions that are coming up. The selling season has stopped here. They're going to say it hasn't stopped. But guys, we are seeing upwards price action. We're seeing those movements. We're seeing more and more people holding longer term, whether it's Bitcoin wells, whether it's long-term holders in Cardano. We're seeing a lot more people anticipate higher prices moving into this bull run. But, speaking of somebody that's not anticipating higher prices is the company themselves behind XRP. We have Ripple dumping another 120 million XRP in just 5 days. Now, the chat's gonna be like, whoa, Josh, whoa. Those are in cryptographically secured accounts and they're adjusting for market data. No. Ripple reserved 200 million XRP, $100 million for its treasury following February's 1 billion tokens unlock on February 5th. The company first moved to sell over half of this month's supply inflation, according to on-chain data. Here is your payment right there.
Yeah, it's all out there as of right. They still hold 80 million from the unlock. So, they're giving 100 million. 1 billion. Wait a minute, shouldn't that be 800 million? But either way, they hold some, they sell some, and then both sides who are biased, they'll point at their favorite cherry pick data point and say, see, I told you so. And then the other person says, no, see, I told you so. They're not really having the same conversation, which is they're doing both. They're hodling and selling. And
that's exactly what they leave off here, saying it is important, guys, to understand. Again, I'm someone that used to be incredibly bullish on XRP. I love the XRP community. I love the token, love Ripple, have respect for Brad and David Schwartz there. But it is important to understand that Ripple usually liquidates their holdings in strategic moments. Essentially, the sell-offs represent a relevant weight of the token's 24-hour trading volume, capable of influencing short-term price action. So obviously, XRP's price hasn't moved too much. You did have the hack recently of Chris Larson's wallets, which they fixed. They froze the accounts, etc. But this could lead to short-term sell-offs. And I still have questions over that hack alone, because that caused a 5% drop and liquidated millions of dollars of retail money. So it's a very weird position for a company to have half the supply. You can't justify that. If you're trying to justify decentralization versus centralization, that is centralization. That is definitely on that side of the spectrum. Doesn't matter if it's cryptographically secured. Doesn't matter by definition if that means it's more decentralized than Bitcoin. They own 50% of that supply, and we just saw this take place with Chris Larson, his own personal wallets, which, yes, are separate from Ripple. When those have issues, it will impact the price, and that is what matters, because retail, us guys, we're the price.
Yeah, $100 million was hacked just recently, about a week ago, in case you were wondering.
About a week ago, the biggest IPO is ever about to launch here with Ripple, guys, going public. This I'm incredibly bullish for. So I'm going to put this right here, guys. I'm incredibly bullish on the Ripple IPO. Why? Because they have half the supply of XRP. They will always do what's best for their fiduciary responsibilities and do what's best to benefit their shareholders. I am bullish on Ripple. I think Ripple can crush it as a company, be worth billions and billions and tens of billions of dollars. Again, this is because of their products that can use XRP. Don't have to, but can use XRP. And again, they have half that supply. It's like the perfect mechanism to create liquidity for an amazing institution.
And if you need to be more bullish on the Ripple IPO relative to XRP token, CTO Joel Schwartz was given a choice of equity. He said, take XRP tokens or take Ripple IPO shares. He said, give me the IPO shares.
Yeah, he did follow up. I do want to say, he did follow up by saying only time will tell.
Yeah.
But again, I think time will show that the Ripple IPO, XRP is a $30 billion market cap.
He said
Let's say
that,
Ripple
but
launches
he
at
put
a few
his money
billion.
where his mouth is. He had to say that.
Yeah,
He had to say that.
Why
Why didn't you take the token? Oh no, time will tell. Time will tell.
I'm still incredibly bullish on Ripple. I think if they IPO, great trade there. We have Disney investing $1.5 billion in Epic Games to create new virtual world tied to Fortnite.
Boo!
This is actually wild. Boo in the sense that, yay, Elon Musk for suing. But ultimately, this is a press release that just took place. Disney said it plans on investing tons of money into this new metaverse. The forthcoming persistent universe will not only offer a world-class gaming experience and integrate with Fortnite, but will also provide a wide range of opportunities for consumers to engage with their Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, all of these characters. So I imagine
boot up Fortnite, crank 90s as Steamboat Willie, and then stun on all the 8-year-olds, right?
Yeah, 100%. But the takeaway here is why does this matter? It has nothing to do with NFTs or anything. Billions of dollars are being invested into the metaverse. People are memeing the Apple headgears right now, right? They're like, oh, that's so stupid. They're taking showers with them. They're in the grocery store. They're walking down the streets of New York, and it just looks funny. I guarantee you in 2 years, it's going to be almost completely normal. And by the third or fourth headset, they're going to be way smaller and look way cleaner and not so awkward in public. And that is all going to create a ton more benefit in the metaverse. So you really want to start paying attention to those AI cryptos, the metaverse cryptos that potentially are tied to this. You have Vivi, I know, has a lot of ties to the, I think it is Disney with their Marvel NFTs. Start paying attention because we're early to those investments.
What? I said this, I think 2 years ago, and I think I'm going to be right. I think Meta is going to get it right with their sunglass partnership with Luxottica, the maker of Ray-Bans. So Ray-Bans wants to get into this foray with the tech company, and I think people are much more likely to wear something that looks like Ray-Bans, even if it has less capability, versus wearing the thing that some reports say you can only wear 30 minutes. It costs $3,000.
It will be awesome. I mean, definitely 5 years. I see someday where we don't need 4 monitors for having a chat open. We would have our glasses on and the chat, we just look to the right, chat's there.
Yeah.
Right. So it brings down cost of equipment. There's so many things that come with that.
I'm wearing it. I'm watching music videos and I swipe up on the Drake music video and I'm like,
yeah.
That would be bad.
You forgot it. You forgot you left it on. You're like, oh,
I just wanted to hear the bad lyrics. I didn't know adult setting meant that. I didn't know.
This is how it's going to run down. DZ's going to be on the couch and his fiance is going to ask, hey, can I borrow those glasses? I want to check it out. He's like, yeah. And he's going to have forgot that he pulled that up behind him an hour ago. She's going to put them on and be like,
yeah, it's like that old thing with the Bluetooth speakers, and the kid with the phone and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, folks, for those who are just joining or just maybe first time tuning in, we bring you live content 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 Pacific. And we bring you 7 days content on this channel. We appreciate it. If you'd hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed. And tomorrow, We're starting 30 minutes late because we're talking to Charles Hoskinson.
No way.
Very excited about that. Very, very excited about
Guys,
that.
it's going to be an awesome interview. I cannot wait for that. You've talked to Charles before,
Yeah,
correct?
I'm gonna figure out some sort of question about falconing, I think.
Oh yeah.
I have to, right? If I don't ask him about his falconry experience, I'm doing you guys a disservice, I would say.
Like
I'm
him
doing
actually
you
holding a falcon.
disservice.
So we should come into Falcons tomorrow.
You're aware he's a falconer, right?
I've seen like 1 or 2 pictures, but I'm not a Cardano Maxi ecosystem
it's
guy.
It's a giant portion of his personality is my assumption here.
I love
Is
that.
it
No,
always
that would be
sunny
awesome.
in Colorado? We have to know.
Yeah, we have
Is it
to know.
always Colorado though?
He is.
That's what he said.
That's where I saw him last.
Do you think we can get a messenger pigeon and write a note to him and send it to him right now, and it'll get there?
His
Fine.
falcon
Yeah.
will eat it. Yeah. So we don't know.
He'll bring back. Yeah, he'll find the paper in the Falcons.
Folks, we do have some breaking news. I do want to share
What
this.
do we got?
Victoria VR launched this Web3 metaverse on Apple Vision Pro, but
Interesting.
there seems to be an issue, everybody. I saw this story. I decided to pull up the price. I was like, okay, Victoria VR. This announcement, all right, it seems like this tweet is pretty recent, right? This is about a week ago. Well, what is that? Yeah, that means they're pumping, right? I mean, this is huge. Apple Vision.
No way.
Look at that chart. Look at that chart. I don't know what happened. It seems like this seems a little unnatural. This
Go to
happened.
the max. What's the max look like?
About an hour and a half ago.
Hasn't been
Well,
pumping?
we hit max here. I mean, it is pretty bullish, but that seems stronger than normal
there's the year.
profit taking. I don't know. Maybe that's just normal profit
I
taking,
think,
but that is pretty steep.
Buy the rumor, sell the news again every time. I think it just time and time and time again. It's 9 out of 10 times. And the one time you're gonna be like, Josh, you were wrong. It wasn't buy the rumor, sell the news. You're gonna do it another 8 times in a row and lose, right? That's just it's nearly always, it's not guaranteed, but buy the
We
rumor, sell the
definitely are
news
going to
here.
ask. I mean, one of the main pressing questions of Cardano right now is USDC. I'm sure Josh or myself will ask him about that. Without a doubt, we're going to ask him about that. And again, we're going to start 30 minutes late.
Yeah, we got great questions. That'll be so 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, guys. Make sure you be there or be square. And actually send the contract so we can show up and duke it out like men, guys here. But guys, we appreciate you for watching today. DZ, you got anything else? I got to go prep for this interview.
Let's just go celebrate these Cardano wins.
Woo! Let's go, guys. Ow! Happy Thursday.